Henry. It's the coach. This is the 2021 season on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league and halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what...
Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
2 yards on the carry there, it'll be second down. And this offensive unit should have a lot of juice coming off the big output that they had 1 week ago.
Nothing like confidence, is there? When you've played well the week before, you can't wait to get back on the field and do it again.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Detroit. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
And from analyzing them and talking with their defensive coordinator, we know they have a full playbook. So look for them to mix up coverages, pressure one play, fall back the next. They'll do a lot of different things trying to confuse the offense.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw here. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
The Vikings send out their punter. Back deep for the Lions, it's Golden Tate. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Taking it about the 16. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Stafford on first down. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And now out comes Minnesota. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 19 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Here we go.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the 1st quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Let's go. 3-19.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Now let's go. Green, 30.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Derrick Henry, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken a 1st quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Carlson now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things up.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And not much room there, so get it up only to about the 21. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a handoff to Henry. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That's a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Stafford now to throw. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. Here's Bernard. Finding some room at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Bernard. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. This is how they will line it up defensively for Minnesota. They're currently 21st, Charles, in the NFL against the run.
Well, there wasn't anything wrong with them on that play, was there? Able to make a nice stop, held them to no gain. The key to their defense, though, is exactly what the defensive coordinator told you and I. They've got to be consistent.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
Now it's Stafford. And Tate's got it. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. They begin with Henry. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll look to throw here. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Devon Kennard with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return, it's Tate. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw, Stafford. On the screen, Bernard. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Set. Green 39.
The pitch to Henry. Runs over it. And he's got some space here. Extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it works.
And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. It's a big run that time by Henry. 49 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
A give to Henry. And they'll get this down to the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Derrick Henry. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Here we go now.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and goal.
319.
They'll set up to throw. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. That time a 6-play drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Carlson now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. All right, let's focus now on Giovanni Bernard. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And it's 3rd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He drops it off for Bernard. They showed a little athletic juke, but then the daylight quickly closed. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 15. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now let's go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Quick slant there gets him the 1st down, 6 yards on the play. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that's incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit, but his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Michael Gallup, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here come the Lions now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll begin here with Bernard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Here's Stafford now on second down. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. From the gun, here's Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets them a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Stafford, throw left side complete. It's Jones.
Holding, offense.
So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Stafford looks to throw again. His throw incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And it's actually been out of the backfield, handing the ball off where they've had a lot of success. So if you're the quarterback, do you just maybe say, you know, maybe this isn't my day, our running game's going so well, you just continue to lean on that?
I agree. That's exactly what you do. And you have to kind of take your ego and put it aside because you always think your next throw is going to be your best throw, right? Your next play is going to be your best play. Lean on what's working for you right now. That should help carry your team to victory if things keep going in the direction that they are.
Yeah, because the formula has them the lead currently. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin in the Meadowlands, an AFC East matchup between New England and the New York Jets. And it's the Jets who are out in front in that one. Sam Darnold has a touchdown pass. From there, we stay in the Empire State. We head up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Devontae Parker, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. Cam Newton's thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. A little too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Ready? Lady?
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. They were trying to go back to Allen there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Set. Lady?
On 3rd down, Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This is taken at the 23. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's taken down inside the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
This is Henry. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the second level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got it. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
Ball start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise. Methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me, and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that, so you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now running right through it. Oh, now he bowls. And now look at him go. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. So he takes it from 2 yards deep all the way down the field into the other end zone. Add it all up, a 102-yard return on the kickoff. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That'll be taken in the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's second down.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
Line of of scrimmage. Again, the 25, 2nd and 10.
Set. 3-19.
And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Hurry up. Here we go. Green.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Hurry up. Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hurry up. Here we go. Green. 30.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. Will Parks there in coverage to knock it away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a carry for Bernard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Stafford. And Tate's got it. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. It's still a nice play by the defense.
Again, here's Bernard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have a 1st down as they get into the ground at the 37. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Stafford. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll run it here with Bernard. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the 1st thanks to a flashy little spin move. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Well, Stafford, he's got it. The tight end, Allen. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and it'll be a second down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Set. Blue 60.
On second down, Johnson. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Lions on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Don't forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
Now Stafford. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Checking in on Houston. It's in the 4th quarter there.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
And out now come the Vikings. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking. And I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Now it's Henry. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They'll run with Henry. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Again, it's Henry. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Henry. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Running left, it's Henry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Green 39.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The 13 yards that time and a 1st.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jordan. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Wide open receiver complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They're going to look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
Here we go. Green 30.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And after the broken tackle, couldn't get free for much space, taken down right at the 10. He picks up 7 yards there, but they're still faced with a difficult 3rd and goal here. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it's 3rd and short.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
The Lions on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through him. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, Stafford here. Bryant with a catch right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Stafford on the screen. Bernard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. Throwing again at Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Bryant. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on 4th down.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
And now out comes Minnesota. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the 2nd half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a 1st down on the keeper.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Henry. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Minnesota, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head